In order to be motivated, you have to be okay with not being motivated. And I could honestly just end this video here with that. And that is literally like boils down all the points that I'm about to share with you. Essentially, yeah, you have to be okay with not being motivated. And I find for me, when I get into periods of like wanting to be motivated, and you could use have spark, inspiration, like it's not even that you want to have a spark or inspiration or be motivated. It's that you want to access the version of yourself that you are when you are having a spark, having motivation, having inspiration. You want to be that person. You want to access that version of yourself. And you think it is through feeling motivated, feeling inspired, feeling a spark, because we attach that good flowy feeling of ourselves to productivity a lot of the time. So first and foremost, you could ask, are there areas in my life that I do feel motivated, have a spark, have inspiration? Because chances are there are, and you're not really like letting them be that. So for me, like, I technically haven't done art or worked on my creativity or filmed or edited in the past like 24, 48 hours, last few days. But I have hung out with a lot of friends, and friends fill up my cup so much for creativity, for inspiration. And I need that time. Everyone needs this time of adult play, essentially, and letting go of everything you're like grinding towards. Potentially, I don't really grind or feel like I grind, but like everyone needs to like let that go and like drop in with the people that matter. Or at least that's my version of success, is also having a big community and really intentionally cultivating that community. So that's something I was doing, even though I could look at the last few days and be like, oh, I wasn't creative or motivated or whatever. I actually was in one area of my life. And sometimes you just can't do it all. I'd rather do a few things really deeply than a lot of things all at once and not be able to drop into them all the way. So it could be that. It could be that you're feeling really motivated with cooking. It could just not be manifesting in the way that you perceive motivation or inspiration in your life. So you're thinking it's not happening when it really is happening. So first and foremost, yeah, like do a little check of like, am I actually feeling motivated in other areas that I'm just not naming as motivation because it's not recording a video or doing the painting or writing the book? Like, there's so many different ways in life to be creative, and they don't all have to end in a product of some sort that can be consumed or potentially monetized or whatever it is. Like, I just went on a walk and that felt really inspiring and creative in such a different way. But I, left and came back with just myself and a new perspective. So I think, yeah, there can be a lot of times that we're just not naming motivation. But if you are naming it in different ways and you're still feeling like, maybe every area of my life feels a little stuck, I think you might be here. And I find myself here a lot. We want to be up here. We want the like inspiration, motivation, like the high. But we're here and we are just trying to lift this up this way. And we're like, come on, like, let's get motivated. Let's do this. Why am I not up here? And we forget to realize that like it's going to go so much quicker if you do that. There's going to be so much more of a swing if you do that, but notice where we have to pass through when we do that. This is being stuck. This is being inspired. This, we don't like this. We resist this. And I'm really trying not to use this as like these feelings are something negative, because they're not. I think it's just truly like the unwanted resisting feelings are something we are resisting. But they always reveal something about ourselves that we want and desire that can bring us back up here so much quicker with so much more momentum than just like, oh no, I don't want to feel bad. Let's just go back to the good, back to the inspo up here. So this is where the resistance lies. Miss Kitty, that's my camera. I'll pet you. Not my camera. Okay, so this is where the resistance lies, and this can be a lot of things. It might even be hard to like go into what all the resistance can be, but it kind of boils down to, like I said at the very beginning, not being okay with not being motivated, not being okay with being here, not being okay with like feeling a little stuck. And like once you're okay with being here, it can move. But okay, what's this resistance? Sometimes it can be physical, like genuinely. Oh, I started my cycle last weekend. Of course, I was just kind of chilling out a day or two and listening to my body. And, you know, that doesn't even happen every time. I'm not saying that, like, you have to get, like, I don't know. I just try to listen to your body. Are you sore somewhere? Are, like, those things can get in the way of feeling motivated for things that you're doing, like especially if your desire is like physical activity, like if you're a runner or you want to stick out to this workout routine or do yoga or whatever, like having any sort of physical discomfort and not accepting that, yeah, you'll never get back up here, because you're gonna keep trying to go there without being like, my ankle does kind of always hurt when I do this, like maybe I should do really intense, or not really intense, but like ankle exercises that help that muscle so it doesn't kind of hurt every time I run, because that's making me not want to run. Like, so there's the physical resistance that could be happening depending on what you want to be motivated and inspired for. There's obviously mental resistance, thought resistance, and that's, I think, where a lot of it can lie. I think it can sometimes, depending on how you relate to your body, be easier to notice that your body is sore. That's why, okay, I'll rest. Now I can get back to running again. Like for some people that might not be as clear cut, but for others, the mental might not be as clear cut. So essentially, like, there's so many things that could be, but you could literally be resistant of your own potential. You could be intimidated by your own potential and be like, well, what if that video went viral and I got to X number of subscribers and my coaching calendar filled up and I booked that retreat in Santa Fe and like whatever it is, like what if that happened today? And being like, oh, can I actually hold my desires? Am I intimidated by my own potential? Because like truly deep down, I feel like this could happen, but I've never been the person where that's happened to yet, so it's still an unknown factor. So my own potential is making me feel resistant to this whoosh of energy that I'm feeling, because I don't know what would happen if I succeed. And sometimes the unknown can be like too scary for your brain. Hello, Miss Kitty. Hello. So sometimes the unknown can be too scary for your brain, even if it's positive, and that can kind of keep you from resisting, like, okay, like, I don't know, even just facing, like, this is what success would look like, and I can hold it, and I can do it, and I can figure it out. it could be just not believing that you're good enough to bring whatever it is you want to bring to life. Like, for instance, I wanted to do like a morning routine video, and I was making it like way bigger than it was. I like wanted it to be this perfect like summer morning routine video, and then I started filming it, and I was just having like a very feely morning, like a very nostalgic. It was the year mark of like something important, and I just ended up chatting a ton and not really filming like the morning routine that I kind of had in my head that I really wanted to capture. And I was feeling like frustrated, like, oh, I just want this to be like perfect. It's almost like that perfectionism wound. And then finally, like, I was doing it, I was like, oh, do I just need to scrap this? Like, isn't what I imagined, but it's fine and it's true for me. Like, I just don't understand this resistance. And then I had this little voice come on that was like, you can always do another morning routine. Like, this isn't the one and only morning routine you're ever gonna do, and like, it has to be perfect, and you can never shoot another one again after this. Like, you could literally have a whole entire YouTube channel of just morning routines and just do this over and over again until you perfect it, if you want it, you know. And whenever that came on mine, I was like, oh, then I can post it. Like, it takes the pressure off of like, oh, this actually doesn't have to be like perfectly what I had in my head, because it is exactly what needs to exist right now and what's online and alive for me right now. And that's like more important because it's what was actually created. And of course, there's things that you can create and not feel proud of and decide not to share. Like, even this video, for instance, I filmed this kind of similar talk. It was very different because I was feeling really unmotivated at the time, and I was like, oh, I can just talk myself out of it. And I ended up coming to all these conclusions kind of by the end of the video, but yeah, that video just like did not make actual logical point like sense to me when I was looking back. So I was like, okay, that's just a video journal diary entry and I can re-share what I am learning in a more pointed way that it can actually be helpful, because that is my intention, is to be helpful and like share what I've learned when it comes to creativity when I come on to chat most of the time. And so yeah, it was funny because I did have this loop, and I talked about it a little bit before in the video that I'm not sharing, about how I knew I needed to be okay with not being motivated, but I was just telling myself that I was okay with it so that I could get motivated again. So it's like kind of a catch 22 of like, so you're not really okay with it. You're just pretending to be okay with it so that you can be somewhere else, which is just funny. It's funny to catch that. Um, but yeah, you really do just have to be okay with like figuring out what this resistance is, because you're never going to go from here to here. It's always going to be like going through whatever resistance is coming up for you so you can get, and like, this doesn't have to be a long time. Like, it can fly, it can go fast. This is where we're stuck. This is what's taking a long time because we keep trying to do it like this. But no, you need to figure out what you're resisting so that you can get up here, and then we can kind of work on next how to slow this down, because this is where we like to be. How can we elongate this? What distracts us from this? What takes us from here to here? And how can we keep eliminating that so that we can spend like at least half of our life? And like, I feel like what happens is we're here and here a lot. We're resisting here and desiring to be here all the time. So how can we shorten the stagnancy of the sides, get through the resistance so we can elongate the inspiration, the desired feeling of life, the beauty and dance that is just pure existence, what it means to be human, what it means to appreciate the sky and the trees and just life itself. Like, how can we experience the flow state of life more and more? And that's what you're actually after. You don't want to be motivated. You don't want to have a spark. You don't want to be inspired. You want to be the version of yourself that you are when you feel all those things. So how can we attack the feeling? How can we get back to the feeling of those things so that we can be excited about flow? And so much of it is being okay not being there. And it's hard. It's not an easy, I mean, it doesn't have to be hard. Forget that I said that. Like, don't claim that. If it, like, I don't think it's hard now. I think it's hard to see at first, and then when you start to see it more and more, you're like, oh, there's resistance. That's why. Oh, I am like nervous of my own potential. That's why. I'm not okay with feeling stagnant. That's why. Like, you can start pointing it a lot quicker. Um, but I think it's hard to notice it right at first, like the first time that you kind of experience that and then experience the change of that. So, yeah, I hope this was helpful. Um, I hope we can all leave feeling a little bit more motivated. Some questions you could ask yourself is like, what am I not okay with? What am I resisting? Does it not feel okay that I don't feel like cooking right now? Does it not feel okay that I don't want to hang out with anyone? Does it not feel okay that I don't want to film, that I don't want to edit, that I don't want to XYZ? Why is that not okay? What about that situation am I resisting? Or, like, yeah, why am I making it not okay that I don't want to do that thing? And then as soon as it's like, okay, I just want to play video games. You play video games for an hour, spark. As soon as you just let yourself do whatever it is you want to do, typically the thing that you secretly really want to do finds a way to fill in because it's not scared of not being there. It's like, oh, I need to go over here and then come back to you. It's like scared to leave. And it can tell that you have that desperate energy to keep it. And you don't even appreciate it when you're in it. When you're in the flow, you don't even like fully sink your teeth in. Sink your teeth in. Show it that when you're in flow, you will do the actions. You will take the steps. Flow loves action. Flow loves acceptance. Flow is basically acceptance. And then it wants to come back to you more and more because it's like, oh, that one appreciates me. That one loves being with me. That one dances when I get here. That one creates so much juicy stuff in their life that is an expression of me coming into contact with them. I want to be with that one. Like, that's how that works. I Yeah, even that's making me excited. I'm like, oh, how can I dance today? How can I flow in life? How can I just be? And that feels so much more closer to motivation, to spark, to inspiration than how do I get motivated? How do I stay motivated? Be okay with not staying motivated. Be okay with knowing that you'll be motivated for a bit. You'll sink your teeth in when you are. You'll create the things. You'll do the damn thing when you're up here. Because you're okay with coming back down here and integrating the lessons that you learned up here. And just knowing it's a cycle. I literally just brought my pen out so I could show you the cycle over and over again, because that's what I need to. So yeah, basically, be okay with not being motivated. Be kind to yourself when you're not up here, because then this isn't so scary. And yeah, I hope you have a beautiful day, and I hope you leave not feeling motivated, unless that's where you are. I hope you leave feeling the acceptance of wherever you're at, and going about your day with that acceptance, and then seeing the change that happens through the acceptance of wherever you are. Okay, have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.